So this is the brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3. Hey guys, my name is Demas Rusli and I'm a photographer and designer based in Sydney, Australia. In this video we're going to be unboxing the brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 and I'm going to be giving you guys a quick first look at the brand new phone. So before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to Samsung Australia for sending me this device to test out before the launch date. Apparently this is the first and only Galaxy Z Fold 3 in Australia right now, so I feel very humbled to be able to unbox it and share it with you guys. This specific video is not sponsored by Samsung, so I'm going to be giving my honest opinions on the phone. However, I'm going to be making some TikTok and Instagram content in the next coming days for Samsung, so if you're interested in seeing the results for that, make sure you check out my TikTok or Instagram accounts. As I'm a photographer, I'm going to be making another video in the coming days testing out the camera on this Galaxy Z Fold 3. I'm going to be testing out the photo and video quality on this phone, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that video. And if you have any questions regarding the camera or just the phone in general, make sure you drop them down in the comments below. Alright, so let's get started. As you guys can see, the box itself is much thinner than last year's Z Fold 2. And that's because just like all the other Samsung flagship phones, there is no charging brick that comes with the phone anymore. Opening up the box, the first thing you'll see is the phone itself, and then right underneath it there's another smaller box, and inside of that there's just some instructions and a USB-C to USB-C cable. The price for this Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 starts at 2,499 Australian dollars for the 256 gig model and 2,649 Australian dollars for the 512 gig model. Comparing that to the Z Fold 2 last year, that phone launched at 2,999 Australian dollars for the 256 gig model, so this new Z Fold 3 will launch at a considerably cheaper and more affordable price on launch day. The Z Fold 3 is slightly lighter and thinner than the Z Fold 2. The Z Fold 3 weighs in at 271 grams, while the Z Fold 2 is 282 grams. And when unfolded, the Z Fold 3 is 6.4mm thick, while the Z Fold 2 is 6.9mm thick. This means while you're using the phone while it's open, it's going to be more comfortable in the hand and less tiring for you to hold. The new Galaxy Z Fold 3 will come in 3 colors. The one I have in my hand here is the Phantom Black, and it will also come in Phantom Green and Phantom Silver. I really like this matte and satin finish on the back because to me it looks more expensive and more sleek, and it's also less of a fingerprint magnet compared to the Mystic Black color on the Z Fold 2. The Z Fold 3 has a Snapdragon 888 chipset in it and a 4,400 mAh dual battery split between the two sides. It has 12 gigs of RAM, and just like the Z Fold 2, it's got the fingerprint sensor right here on the side on the power button, which I think is a really good place for it for this form factor. Alright, so now let's talk about the screens. So the cover screen at the front here is a 6.2-inch Dynamic AMOLED 2X display made up of Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, which is supposed to be 80% more durable than the previous model. The inside screen, which is the screen you're going to be mainly using if you have this phone, is a 7.6-inch Dynamic AMOLED 2X Infinity Flex display. With these folding phones, you're most likely going to be able to see a crease in the middle if you look at the phone from a certain angle, but most of the time, because you're going to be consuming content from the front, when you're watching videos or just scrolling through social media, you most likely won't even notice that the crease is there. Both the outside screen and the inside screen are now capable of having 120Hz refresh rate, and with the new Eco display technology, both screens should be brighter and consume less energy compared to the previous model. Now, the biggest design change from the Z Fold 2 to the Z Fold 3 has to be the way the cameras are set up. As you can see here on the back on the camera module, the design is much more simple with this vertical stack of cameras and the flash at the bottom compared to the rectangular camera bump on the Z Fold 2. The camera specs for these rear cameras are pretty much the same as the Z Fold 2, with a 12MP wide camera at f1.8, 12MP telephoto camera at f2.4 and a 12MP ultra wide camera at f2.2. The selfie camera here on the cover is 10MP at f2.2. The biggest change in camera has to be the under display camera on the inside screen. This camera is 4MP at f1.8. As you can see, when the screen is open and you have a white or bright colored screen, you can see that there's a selfie camera, but it's just half covered with pixels, so it's not very noticeable at all. I'm very keen to test out this under-screen camera to see the quality of it, and also all the other cameras on this phone, so stay tuned for my camera test video coming soon. Another thing that's new and quite exciting on this Galaxy Z Fold 3 is that for the first time on a foldable phone, it's IPX8 water resistant. This is based on test conditions for submersion in up to 1.5 meters of fresh water for up to 30 minutes. Even with this IPX8 water resistance, this phone is still not 100% dust proof, which is to be expected with a phone with so many moving parts. Just like the Z Fold 2, the Z Fold 3 also has this hideaway hinge that allows the device to stay in place at any angle, and this works well with a few apps that are compatible with flex mode, such as the camera app, YouTube, the calendar, and many more. This flex mode also allows for better multitasking, so you can use two different apps from the top screen and the bottom screen at once. Finally, the Z Fold 3 is now S Pen compatible with the new S Pen Fold Edition or S Pen Pro. The reason why you can't just use an old S Pen from a previous Note device is because the new S Pens have a softer tip so that it doesn't scratch the inside screen on the Z Fold 3. Alright, so overall, I think this Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 has some really nice upgrades compared to the Z Fold 2. The biggest ones being the cheaper price, the IPX8 water resistant rating, and the under display camera on the main screen, which allows for a more immersive viewing experience. It's still an expensive phone at this current price range, but if you're wanting to try out a foldable phone for the first time, this 3rd generation Z Fold is definitely a great place to start. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing, and stay tuned for lots more videos coming soon. As always, thanks so much for watching, and remember to always push your creativity to the next level. Bye!